romantic relationships, the marriages, there's the economy, there's being imprisoned. I've been in and out of jail for, if you add it up, for almost 2.5 years. I've been arrested over 70 times, and there are worse addictions than civil disobedience. And
is that all for civil disobedience?
Yes, all for
nonviolent
direct action, all of it. And there's no DUIs in there or getting busted for a bag of opium or something like that. It was all planned civil disobedience, and as soon as people stop, as soon as people stop paying bail, I'm gonna throw my body into the fray down at Ground Zero. I can't, in good conscience, pay bail, and that's not some type of holier-than-thou condemnation of those who have paid a dear price down at Rock Creek. But they don't need our money. They got a lot of money, and I'm not going to pay for my protest. I'm not going to pay for my way out of jail. And people who are very poor, obviously can't do that. Can't call their friends to get pro bono lawyers. Most lawyers don't even know what those Latin words mean anymore. So, yes, it's very important not to be, as an anarchist, not to be part of a group. And a lot of times we would, in different protests that we put together, we would have a different name, Desert Flower, the Nonviolent Rapid Deployment Force, the Spiritual Affinity Group, SAG, I like that one, that's for you old baby boomers. On and on and on, just giving ourselves, different names, trying to keep things fresh and new. And it's exhausting because, you still have to work with somebody.
Yeah.
And you still have to work with people, but over the years you learn, as I do as somebody who employs people for my handyman business, you learn how to assess the situation in 15 seconds and to make a decision. So, and it's very important to keep our independence in the midst of doing independent media.
So have you worked with the IM independent media centers or other groups like that?
With media? I've worked with Democracy Now!, I've worked with Free Speech Radio, I've worked with independent media centers, and again, everybody gets along until they sit around in a room and have a meeting. And so I would rather upload my content to where they store their content and use their content than sit around in a room strategizing how we're going to do media. I don't think that's the hard part. The hard part is to be, as the song says, where the action is. And so as long as you could put your ear to the ground and hear what's happening in places like Rock Creek and be there, then I think that you have something to offer. It doesn't matter what kind of equipment you have. As I said before, if there is no original and stimulating and outrageous content, maybe what we need to do is just play Breaking Glass for a few days. Format, where people have copied us, the one format is turn on the tape recorder and you just let it run. And so, like with Malik Rahim down in New Orleans in Common Ground Relief, he just talked for 45 minutes. Same thing with Mike Rosal, and the same thing with when an event happens. We come back from the event, or Baghdad, or from an uprising like G20, and we come back and we play that content for a few weeks. I mean, that doesn't happen. People, they have programming, and they cannot clear their programming because they have different DJs signed up to play for a few days what you got from an uprising, and also to glean other audio from other sources, independent sources, to do that. And so that's what we try to do over and over again. When the thing came down with Haiti, we went into the archives and got out Amy Goodman flying around the world with a exiled Aristide. I mean, that's not new. That's 5 years old. And yet when you would hear him talking about Haiti and hear about the Marines shoving guns in his face and taking him out of the country. I mean, when I told people that, I said, this all started with Aristide, the fact we're not able to find some answers here. They said, what are you talking about? I said, Aristide, when they put, Bush administration the Marines put guns in his faces and took him out of his country. And because of the dumbing of America, no one knew what I was talking about.
Right.
And so we have to, as independent media people, put things in content. There was a guy down there doing independent media in Haiti, Port-au-Prince, and he's called the Media Hacker, and he was stuck there. He didn't go down there to cover the earthquake. He was he was in the earthquake. He was there beforehand.
Wow.
And so there is now throughout the world a plethora of people like alive in Baghdad, alive in Iraq, alive in Chiapas. There's all these different people who try to get equipment down to the different war zones and have people send back the content either by computer or by mail. And these folk from the Boston DNC, where it's now a piece of history that putting us in cages. I mean, these people started there. His name was Sharpie. And now
it was Sharpie.
What?
It was Sharpie.
Oh well.
Now he uses his real name.
Now he uses his real name. Well, I don't ever call him his real name. But anyway, so the Sharpie. I mean, he was sleeping in the broadcast room and told me to be quiet. And I said, it's really hard to be quiet when there's a radio station going on. And so, he didn't seem like the most enthusiastic journalist I've ever met in my life, and he went on to start Alive in Baghdad. And I have no idea how they were still going economically. I mean, they were having trouble from the very beginning. And that's another example. I mean, there is no TV station, radio station, corporate station in the world that has consistent alternative homegrown media coming out of war zones like that.
Right.
And so, again, it's the sky's the limit.
So, what's on the horizon? What are you going to do to celebrate your 10-year anniversary?
We're thinking of going to the mayor's office and asking him here in Pittsburgh how he likes blast furnace radio. Well, we don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we'll bungee cord off the Mazeroski Bridge, or maybe we'll put a webcam on my car and run it up the steps of a military think tank called SEI.
Well, I'm not going to put that on video.
But I don't know what. Well, we're not going to do that. So. But anyway, so we don't know what we're going to do. But just like there was an old saying that seemed very trite, how have you changed things? And of course, we have changed things. Women are never going to go back to the kitchen. Black people are never going to go to the back of the bus. There's never going to be apartheid in South Africa. South Africa still has a phenomenal amount of problems because of their relying on our country and corporations to change things. But there'll never be apartheid. There'll never be a nuclear arms race. Somebody might have nuclear bombs, but there will never be a nuclear arms race that will destroy two countries, as did with Russia and America. And so we've watched a lot of things change. But there's an old saying going. He said, I'm not trying to change anything, I'm just trying to make sure that it doesn't change me. So what's on the horizon is trying to find new ways to communicate creatively the truth, and trying to be there in situations that other people cannot be in because of their restrictions, because of their poverty or responsibilities to families, and it's just important to keep going. We don't have the right or the privilege to give up.